Okay, guys, and we are back today with another interview for you guys for a 2024 defensive lineman. Y'all need to be stoked. Y'all need to be excited about it because today we're going to have Bergen Kysar joining the show. Now, if you all are not familiar with Bergen Kysar is an OK Preps kid, a 3-star defensive lineman out of Edmond, Santa Fe. And listen, you're starting to see the trend here where Oklahoma is getting 3 stars to walk on as a PWO, leaving room for maybe guys that absolutely need that scholarship. And you might be asking, well, why are we so excited about Bergen Kysar? Well, as you watch the interview, you're going to see why. So, guys, before we jump into it, go ahead and hit that like, hit the subscribe button, jump down in the comments below. All right, guys, and we are back today with another one, bringing you guys a little bit of insight to this 2024 recruiting cycle and the recruits that are here building this power line, this 2024 class. And I think this is one that you guys are going to be interested in because today we're going to have Bergen Kysar joining us, a 6'4", 230-pound defensive lineman from Edmond Santa Fe. And if you guys have heard me talk about it, you guys have heard me talk about exactly why Oklahoma needs to get in with the city of Edmond, especially with it being just an OK Preps area. We all know that Edmond is going to be producing high-tier talent, maybe like the Tulsa schools here over the next couple of years. So definitely exciting there. But today I am joined by Bergen Kysar. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am doing good. Not gonna lie though, I'm really enjoying the weather and wishing I could be outside a little bit more. So it's pretty nice. It's been nice the past couple days. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and dive into it. We're just gonna jump right in. So go ahead and give everybody an opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. So tell them where you're from, where did you grow up, where do you play high school football?
I was born here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I was raised here in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I play football at Edmond Santa Fe High School.
All right, all right, and I mean, obviously you've played against some top talent, but you also play with another guy that is currently committed to the Sooners in Josh Isosa. So what does that relationship look like between you guys? Obviously, you guys might go up against each other a little bit, but
Yeah.
what was the excitement around both of you guys just going to the same college?
We were pretty excited. I committed, and then he ended up committing a few days later. I think he kind of knew, earlier what his option was, and he knew the right school for him, and I knew what would be a great fit for me, and so we both kind of knew what was going to go down. We have a great relationship in practice. We just make each other better. So we're both high-level athletes, and we both work very hard, so it just makes the team better, in turn. So.
Yeah, so I think you committed on the second or the third. But you attended the party at the Palace, so you got to be there for one of the bigger events Oklahoma puts on every year. And what kind of went into picking Oklahoma over some of the other schools? I think you had Oklahoma State on there, you had Tulsa, so you had other colleges here in state looking at you. So why Oklahoma out of some of the other schools?
Just what they got going on there, I just felt like it was a great fit for me. The relationships that they build with the players, the coaching staff, I love it all. They really got something good going on there, and I got a lot of trust. So.
They do. And I think there's some big expectations around the defensive line this year and just really building that, preparing for the SEC. So what does that relationship look like with Todd Bates? Obviously, we know he's been able to develop people, get guys to the NFL. He recruits at a high level. So what was that relationship like between you and him? And did they kind of explain to you how they expect to use you in the defense over the next couple of years?
I've not heard a bunch of that, but him and Coach Bates and Coach Chavis have built a great relationship with me over the past about year and a half. I can tell they both work very hard. They take their job super seriously, and they're not messing around. So.
They are not messing around. And you see that in some of the other recruitments of some of the other guys that they're going after, hard and fast. But what does your relationship look like with maybe any other guys on the team, any of the other recruits? Was there anybody specifically recruiting you to Norman as far as a player goes, or do you kind of know any of the other recruits that are on the team already?
I know Jacob Sexton, he plays offensive line there. We were kind of buddies. We threw shot and disc at track together. He went to Deer Creek, and I went to Santa Fe. We'd always see each other at the meets and stuff, but I kind of knew him. Other than that, I don't really know anybody else there. But.
Yeah. So what has this recruiting process been like for somebody that's obviously not playing in college football, never will? What does that recruiting process look like in high school? So I know you get to go around, you get to take visits to other schools, but give everybody a little insight to what that process has been like for you.
So at the beginning, you get your first offer, and it's super exciting. Your family's excited, and then usually after that come the other offers, and then it gets stressful for a little while because you want to keep everybody happy, and there's a lot of good people. You meet a lot of good people, good coaches throughout this process, and you just don't want to be the bad guy. You want to keep everybody happy because there's a lot of good people. And it can be a little stressful, but you got to remember just to keep going and trust the process because you got to enjoy it. At the end of the day, because it's setting you up for success in life, and you really got to understand that.
Yeah. So you talked about the first offer. Who was your first offer?
Oklahoma State.
And so I guess Bedlam rivalry there. A lot of people, in the state of Oklahoma, they're sad that rivalry is going away. But I guess what was some of the biggest differences between both campuses on the recruiting trail? Because it looks like Oklahoma State has nice facilities.
They do. They both of the colleges have really nice facilities, really great people. They kind of different in their own ways. They one school's orange, one school's red. It's just how it is. But they're both great people. They both got really good things going on. So.
Yeah. So what goes into making a decision? Is it facilities, distance from home? Is it really just relationships? What goes into making probably one of the biggest decisions of your life?
For me, I don't really pay attention to the facilities and all the hype part of it. I'm a hard worker. That's kind of just I'm a grinder. It's what I do. I like working hard, and I knew that this would be a great fit for me, and I knew these people would give me a great chance to not only be a great football player, but become a great man and have success further down the road. So,
loved it. I love to hear it. So, kind of staying a little bit on the recruiting trail, but kind of getting to some fun questions for the recruiting trail. So, who was the funniest recruiter that you talked to, whether it was on a visit or maybe you guys just were texting back and forth? Who was the funniest recruiter that you talked to?
It would either, so at Tulsa, they have a defensive line coach, Ron Burton. It'd either have to be Ron Burton or Coach Chavis from OU. They both have a great sense of humor, both really good people. I enjoy. You can enjoy being around both of them, So,
Love to hear that. I've heard Miguel Chavis before. I've heard that one before. So, what was the best stadium that you've been to? I know there's a lot of great ones out there, but just in terms of the atmosphere, maybe the size of it, which one was the best one that you've been to in terms of layout, things like that?
Oklahoma. It was nice. It's hard to compare to that atmosphere, on game day. The only place that I've been that's close to that, I went to K-State last year for a game. That's the only thing that came close, but Oklahoma is pretty unique.
Love to hear it. So do you have a specific player that you kind of look up to or that you model your game after?
Just right now at Oklahoma, I saw, Ethan Downs. I thought I could kind of turn into him. And if you're looking towards the NFL or whatever, I always like to watch J.J. Watt or T.J. Watt. I've always liked to try to mimic them and do the stuff they do. So,
hey, you know what? Those are great people to model your game after. The Watt brothers have made some money in the NFL, so you can never go wrong there. And Ethan Downs, another in-state prospect, definitely a good guy to potentially look at. And hey, that's who I kind of want to model my game after and be. So, on a Friday night, before you go out for a game, what kind of playlist? What songs are on your playlist before you go out there and run out of that tunnel to hit the field?
I love usually country music, like Johnny Cash is my favorite artist. But before a game, I got some Metallica going. I got some old rock, some Def Leppard, stuff like that. Just kind of gets me focused, but it also kind of gets me hype in the back of my mind, So.
Love to hear it. And after you're celebrating a victory on a Friday night, are you looking to just go home, go to bed, or are you looking to go celebrate with like an ice cream or a dessert? What are you looking to do on Friday night to celebrate a win?
It really depends, on how I feel. I'm not a super social guy, so if I'm up for it, I'll maybe kind of join the people. They go to Cane's down here down the road, but sometimes I'll just swing by Brahms or something, get a burger, and come home because I'm usually so tired. But yeah, and spend time with my family.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with coming home, just spending time with the family and relaxing a little bit after a hard-fought game. So, a question that I like to ask everybody, it's kind of a controversial question, but it's pineapples on pizza. What's your opinion? What's your take?
I've personally never had pineapples on pizza. That's something I want to try, but I do like pineapples in general, and I like pizza, so I don't see why I wouldn't like it, But I'll have to try it.
Hey, you know what? We've had a couple people here on the podcast say it's really good. I'm just like, you know what? I don't see how pineapples mix with it. But you know what? To each his own. I don't like pineapples, so maybe that's my problem.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Well, hey, I know everybody's going to enjoy listening to this and learning just a little bit more about that recruitment and why Oklahoma, right? I think that's the big question. Why Oklahoma? So go ahead and tell everybody, where can they find you on the social medias? Where can they find you? Where can they interact with you at?
At Bergen Kysar on Twitter, Bergen.Kysar on Instagram, and I think it's Bergen Kysar on TikTok. So those are usually the places I'm at.
All right. And I guess final question. Do you plan on coming back to Norman for a couple games this season?
Oh, yeah.
All right. There you go, folks. Guys, you can see Bergen Kysar at Edmond Santa Fe this year to play football. If you guys want to go to a high school football game, listen, Edmond games, they're extremely fun. I'm a little biased, though, because went to the same high school as Bergen here. So I always have a little special place in my heart for those games. But listen, we really appreciate you coming on, talking about that recruitment, diving into a little bit more about that, giving an opportunity for people to learn a little bit more about you. And we'll definitely love to have you back on once you get to Norman and kind of hear about that experience and the differences between the high school and college. So we'd love to hear about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and hit the subscribe button. Jump down in the comments below and let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Listen, guys, we love bringing you these interviews, but we need to continue to see what content you guys like. So make sure you're going down there and showing some love. Well, there y'all have it. The interview with Bergen Kysar. And guys, I really do think this is going to be an exceptional pickup for the Oklahoma Sooners because you get Bergen after the party at the Palace. You get him on 3 visits. Oh, he visited Oklahoma State 3 times. He's been to Kansas State. You all heard all of that. But what does Bergen Kysar bring to the Oklahoma Sooners? He's going to bring strength. He's going to bring speed. He's going to bring depth. And he's going to drive everybody in that room to be better because he's from the state of Oklahoma. He grew up watching the Sooners. He grew up loving it. He knows what it means to love this team and want to be the best possible defensive lineman on this team, and it's just going to make everybody better. Now, the question is, where's Oklahoma going on the defensive line after this? And if you've stuck around this much, you need to let me know in the comments if you stuck out this far. But you still have David Stone. You still have Williams Nwaneri on the board. You have Nigel Smith coming in September. Yes, I'm still telling you, I think Nigel Smith will be a Sooner. And so you look at everything the Sooners have going on right now, who they could potentially land, and you go, okay, it's going to be okay. If they land Dominic McKinley, they get 3 5-stars, Nigel Smith, Bergen Kysar, Danny Okoye, and I don't think they get Zena Yumio Ozulu, but I mean, I know some of y'all would really like that. I don't think they get Zena Yumio Ozulu at that time. You're looking at probably the best defensive line class that the Sooners ever put up. So, guys, thanks for tuning into the interview. Go ahead, jump over to the Twitters, the Instagrams, interact with Bergen, and we'll see y'all next time.